There are people who, even in silence, carry something different. They don't need to say much to change the atmosphere around them. Their presence calms some, unsettles others, but it never goes unnoticed. If you've ever felt that your journey is different, if you carry an invisible strength that drives you forward even when everything seems to be falling apart, perhaps you are a chosen one. The chosen are those who, even without understanding everything right away, feel they have been called for something greater. They walk through deserts, face inner and outer battles, are often rejected, misunderstood, yet they still remain standing. Because within them burns a flame, something that comes from God, that cannot be extinguished by the wind, nor destroyed by the storms. This fire is not made of beautiful words or appearances. It is real. It protects, purifies, strengthens, and also reveals. And those who carry this light are recognized in the spiritual realm before they even open their mouths. It's not about being better than others. It's about having a mission that demands awareness, surrender, and courage. Because wherever a chosen one walks, darkness trembles. Today, we're going to talk about the signs that show you carry this divine flame. Signs that are not just isolated spiritual experiences, but living evidence that the fire of God dwells within you. If these words touch something inside you, stay with us on this journey. And before we continue, take a moment to subscribe to this channel. It helps us bring this message to more people who, like you, are awakening to who they truly are. Welcome to the path of the chosen ones. Your light has a purpose. Let's discover it together. The presence that unsettles dark energies. Some people feel a strange discomfort around you, even if you don't say or do anything special. Sometimes they give you quick glances, change the subject, or simply distance themselves for no apparent reason. This happens because your energy doesn't match theirs. You carry a light that reveals what many prefer to hide. And what is hidden tends to react when it encounters true light. This feeling doesn't come from visible conflict, but from an internal vibration. Your soul transmits something that can't be faked, clarity, and those trapped in negative emotions, dark thoughts, or confused intentions feel that clarity as an uncomfortable mirror. Not because you point out flaws, but because your presence exposes what still needs healing. It's natural that some people try to avoid that reflection. Often, you notice environments change as soon as you arrive. Conversations cool down, glances cross, certain groups disperse. It may seem like an exaggeration, but it's not. Spiritual energy reacts first, before the mind understands. What surrounds you responds as if it were being illuminated. And illumination always reveals something, sometimes good things, other times areas people try to ignore. There are moments when you enter a place and feel pressure, a strange silence, as if something isn't aligned. That sensation isn't just emotional intuition, but a spiritual response. You can sense spaces that carry invisible weight. That's why you feel the urge to pray, to take a deep breath, to move, or even to leave. Your spirit knows when something is trying to resist your light. Don't take it personally when someone treats you coldly for no reason. Often the problem isn't you. It's what resides within the person. Those who live with envy, hidden arrogance, or unresolved resentment feel a natural discomfort before someone who vibrates in truth. The light you carry doesn't accuse, it reveals. And those not ready to see prefer to stay away. It's common for you to be misunderstood in unstable environments. Some may make up stories, label you, say you're weird, too reserved, or different. That kind of reaction arises when your presence breaks social masks. People accustomed to manipulating, competing, or controlling realize their strategies don't work with you. So they try to put you into boxes, to make sense of what they cannot control. The discomfort you cause isn't a sign of error, but a sign of spiritual impact. You move energy simply by existing, not because you think you're better or want to prove anything, but because your soul has gone through deep processes that made you more awake. The light of your spirit needs no introduction. It speaks for itself. And that unsettles worlds that live in shadow. When you notice certain places treating you as an intruder, or when people drift away without explanation, don't try to force connections. God removes what could weaken your essence. What looks like exclusion is, in fact, protection. The flame inside you wasn't placed there to please everyone, but to fulfill a purpose. And purpose always attracts resistance. Keep walking lightly. Those who need your light will recognize it. Those who aren't ready will distance themselves. And all of this is part of the path of those who carry a fire the spiritual world respects. The ability to face the desert without losing your essence. There are periods in life when everything seems too heavy. Things you believed were solid collapse. People you trusted drift away. Opportunities disappear. Even so, a silent strength within you remains unshaken. This is one of the greatest signs of the divine flame in your soul. Even wounded, you keep moving forward. Pain doesn't destroy you, it shapes you. When life places you in a moment of deep loneliness, when nothing seems to make sense, that's when transformation begins. God works most intensely when everything becomes silent. It's in emptiness that you learn to see what truly matters. And this process, though painful, refines your faith, expands your perception, and strengthens your spiritual identity. Many people collapse during crises, but not you. Even without knowing how, you find strength to keep going. Sometimes it's just a thread of hope, small yet strong enough to keep you standing. That thread is spiritual. It's the fire within you reminding you that you are not alone, even when the world seems to say otherwise. The desert reveals inner realities you wouldn't see in times of comfort. It shows what belongs to you and what was borrowed. It shows who stands beside you out of love and who was there out of convenience. It shows which dreams were yours and which were imposed. This cleansing process hurts, but it also liberates. That's how God prepares the chosen, through spiritual pruning. During these phases, you may notice your sensitivity increasing. Your dreams shift. Your intuition becomes clearer. Your view of the world transforms. Suffering opens spiritual channels that were once closed. Your perception sharpens. Your empathy deepens. Your wisdom grows. The desert doesn't take away your light. It intensifies it. And though many may try to convince you that you can handle everything, don't confuse resilience with the obligation to carry the world alone. The chosen also need rest, help, and retreat. Even the strongest flames need care to keep from burning out. Seeking support doesn't diminish your strength, it expands it. The defining mark of this fire is simple. After everything you've lived through, you still believe, you still dream, you still love. Your heart doesn't harden. That is rare. That is divine. That's how God identifies His chosen ones, by their souls that endure the desert without losing their light. Discernment that comes from above. There are moments when you feel something even before any situation happens. Sometimes a sense of alert arises out of nowhere. Other times, you look at someone and just know something is wrong, even without any logical explanation. This is not imagination. It is spiritual sensitivity. The chosen have a perception attuned to the invisible because their souls respond to signals that most people cannot see or choose to ignore. Many people get confused by these perceptions and think it's paranoia or insecurity. But in your case, these impressions later prove true. You sense intentions, detect falsehoods, feel heavy environments, and identify people who aren't aligned with your purpose. This deep level of insight is not common. It's a spiritual gift. Your spirit sees what the physical eyes cannot perceive. This discernment increases when your spiritual life is active. The closer you draw to God, the clearer your perception becomes. Intuition ceases to be a mere gut feeling and turns into divine guidance. You know when not to go down a certain path, when to step back, or when it's time to speak. It's as if something inside of you is always guiding, protecting, and warning you. This gift can drive some people away. When someone has hidden intentions, your presence makes them uncomfortable. They realize they can't deceive you. The mere fact that you exist breaks down facades, collapses masks, and exposes hidden motives. This unsettles many people because the chosen see what others hide, even from themselves. This discernment also appears in your dreams. Many of your dreams are not just random images, but messages, warnings, and revelations. You receive direction while you sleep. At times you wake up with the answer you've been searching for days. Sometimes you feel you dreamed about someone because there was spiritual information there. That is yet another sign of the connection you carry. Unfortunately, this sensitivity can be perceived as exaggeration by those who don't understand the spiritual realm. But you know it isn't. Confirmations come at the right time. Someone reveals who they truly are. A dangerous situation is avoided. A problem is recognized before it worsens. Discernment is a weapon God places in the hands of His chosen. It's important to remember that this gift requires care. It wasn't given for judging, but for protecting and guiding. Discernment without humility turns into arrogance. That's why the chosen carry this gift alongside compassion. They see evil, but don't become part of it. They recognize errors, but don't use their sight to wound. They interpret signs, but walk with respect. When you feel something deep inside, take it seriously. The intuition of a chosen one is a dialogue with God. He speaks to you in silent yet precise ways. And the more you grow spiritually, the clearer and firmer that inner voice becomes. Listening to this guidance is an essential part of your mission. Discernment is the lamp that lights your steps in the midst of shadows. The isolation that prepares and transforms those who are chosen go through periods of isolation that, at first glance, seem unfair. People leave without cause, cycles end, friendships dissolve, doors close. It's as if everything around you is shrinking. But what looks like abandonment is, in truth, divine separation. God removes the noise in order to awaken your true essence. You begin to feel that certain places no longer match your spirit. Parties, conversations, and environments that once pleased you now bring deep exhaustion. It's as if your soul is being pushed onto a different path. This distancing is not rejection. It's spiritual alignment. God separates you from what could dim your light. Many times you feel a strange emptiness, as if you are walking alone. But that emptiness is fertile. It's in that solitude that revelations begin to emerge. You start to understand what you couldn't before. Your emotions settle. Your spirit matures. Your faith stops being theory and becomes practice. God speaks louder when everything around you becomes silent. During this isolation, you realize that some bonds weren't meant to follow your purpose. People who were with you out of habit or convenience begin to drift away. What's genuine remains. What's superficial dissolves. This cleansing is painful, but necessary. No chosen one walks their path carrying dead weight. In this process, your sensitivity grows. You begin to reflect more, pray more, listen more. Your heart becomes more intuitive. Isolation works like a cocoon. It protects you while transformation takes place. And when the process ends, you emerge different, stronger, wiser, more aware of your spiritual worth. Silence becomes a teacher. In it, you learn to depend less on others and more on God. You learn to trust your own light, to listen to your essence, to recognize your mission. Isolation is not punishment. It is preparation. It is there that gifts are awakened, deep healings take place, and spiritual identities are revealed. When the phase of isolation ends, you realize you're no longer the same. Your mind has changed, your choices have changed, your eyes have changed. And as you return to the world, you carry a strength you didn't have before. What once knocked you down no longer does. What once confused you no longer confuses. What once wounded you no longer hurts in the same way. Isolation is the place where God shapes the chosen. Do not fear it. It is in silence that He restores your spirit and reignites the fire within you. The presence that heals, transforms, and awakens. Some people come close to you and, without realizing it, start feeling better. Sometimes all it takes is a quick conversation, a simple gesture, or even your silence. Your presence calms, organizes emotions, and brings clarity to those who feel lost. This happens because your soul carries an energy that touches others deeply. The fire inside you doesn't stay still. It spreads. It's common for strangers to feel comfortable sharing personal things with you, even without knowing why. They sense that you listen with your heart, without judgment. This kind of connection can't be taught. It's the result of a light that's born within someone who has been spiritually prepared. In you, that light is constant. It envelops, comforts, and awakens feelings that had fallen asleep. Animals, children, and the elderly are especially sensitive to this flame. Many times they're drawn to you effortlessly because they feel the gentleness that flows from your soul. This happens because the divine fire you carry transmits safety. It dissolves tension and helps restore the inner peace of those around you, even if you don't say a single word. But the same light that heals can also cause discomfort in those not ready to change. People with hidden intentions or heavy thoughts may feel uneasy around you. This reaction isn't your fault. It's simply how misaligned energies respond when confronted with a vibration that brings everything to light. Some people distance themselves to avoid facing their own shadows. You may notice that, at certain moments, small actions of yours have great effects. A single word from you can encourage someone to start again. A simple gesture can awaken courage in someone who had lost motivation. The simplest things you do carry deep impact because your energy is aligned with divine purpose. It's as if God uses your presence as an instrument of silent healing. However, this gift can cause spiritual fatigue. When you're surrounded by many people seeking your light, you may feel emotionally heavier than usual. That's because you absorb part of their energy while helping them. That's why self-care is vital. Silence, prayer, rest, and reconnection with God are essential to keeping your fire balanced. Your energy wasn't given to be hidden. It exists to transform, to illuminate, and to awaken. If many people say they feel better in your presence or that you have something special, take it as a sign of the purpose you carry. Wherever you go, something changes. And that's not coincidence. It's calling. Spiritual recognition that triggers invisible war. When the spiritual realm recognizes who you are, things begin to shift. Certain attacks increase, strange situations happen, and heavy emotions appear out of nowhere. It's not bad luck, it's recognition. Darkness sees the fire you carry even before you understand your own strength. And when that fire grows, the shadows stir. You might start noticing confusing thoughts for no clear reason. You might feel extreme fatigue or an irritation that doesn't match your nature. Sometimes people close to you begin to act differently, as if something were influencing them. This happens because your light is disturbing spiritual environments that don't want to see you awaken further. But there is a powerful truth. They may try to exhaust you, but they cannot touch you. The fire God placed within you works as a shield. Darkness cannot withstand that flame. That's why it tries to act through distractions, discouragement, and external conflicts. The goal isn't to destroy you, but to make you give up on shining. It's common for your energy to fluctuate during this phase. Some days you feel an extraordinary strength. Other days it seems like the fire has dimmed. But this is only spiritual adjustment. The power within you doesn't disappear. It reorganizes. The enemy tries to confuse you through emotions, but faith keeps you grounded. The chosen learn to walk, even when they don't feel anything. One of the strongest weapons you possess is peace. When you remain calm in the midst of chaos, darkness loses control. Mature spirituality doesn't shout. It stands firm. Acts such as forgiving, praying, blessing, or choosing not to retaliate are powerful spiritual strikes because they expand your light even further. They don't understand that kind of strength. If you've noticed more subtle attacks recently, take it as a sign of growth. Evil only resists those who are a threat. If there's opposition, it's because you're advancing. Keep praying. Keep standing strong. Hell trembles before those who carry the fire and remain faithful. Becoming the fire that transforms everything around you. There comes a moment when the chosen one stops merely carrying the fire and becomes the fire itself. Awareness awakens. The soul aligns. Fear disappears. You understand that you never walked alone, and that everything you've experienced, every pain, every fall, every silence, has shaped your spiritual identity. You finally recognize who you are. At this stage, you no longer look for signs. You become the sign. Your presence speaks. Your energy guides. Your voice transforms. You stop acting based on emotional impulse and begin to act according to purpose. Everything widens. Your understanding, your vision, your connection with God. You begin to walk firmly, no longer trying to survive, but fulfilling your mission. Your light doesn't confront evil. It dissolves it. Wherever you go, darkness disperses. Not because you fight, but because your vibration does not allow the shadow to remain. It's as though the presence of God flows through you effortlessly, illuminating paths that had been forgotten. Your life becomes a living testimony to the spiritual power that sustains you. This awakening brings a deep sense of peace. You understand that nothing is random. Every person, every cycle, every fracture served to bring you here. Pain loses its weight. Doubt loses its grip. Faith becomes as natural as breathing, and love ceases to be a feeling. It becomes a permanent state. When two chosen ones meet, their energies recognize each other. Words aren't needed. There is a sacred silence, an ancient connection, as if both remembered a greater purpose. Together, they ignite even more light in the world, preparing the way for something greater that is yet to come. The true fire of God does not destroy, it renews. And when you become that fire, everything changes. The shadow cannot remain where there is full light. Fear cannot exist where awareness is awakened. The chosen one doesn't disappear into the hole. They rediscover themselves in the divine. There comes a moment in every chosen one's life when everything makes sense. The pains you thought you couldn't bear, the separations that seemed unfair, the silent battles no one saw, the tears you wiped away alone. Every detail was preparation. Nothing was wasted. Nothing happened by chance. Everything was aligned to shape the spirit you now carry. What many call coincidence, you recognize as direction. What others consider loss, you understand as protection. The deserts you crossed didn't just teach you to survive. They taught you to see beyond the surface, to perceive spiritual movements, to trust the inner voice that guided you, even when the world around you was silent. Being chosen never meant having an easy life. It meant having a purposeful one. You were set apart, not because you're better, but because you have a calling that demands strength, sensitivity, and courage. The fire that dwells within you isn't artificial, it's divine. It awakens your awareness, sharpens your senses, strengthens your faith, and illuminates paths that once seemed impossible. That's why, despite the storms, you never completely broke. There was always a small flame in your heart, sometimes weak, sometimes powerful, but always burning. That flame is proof that God never left, even when you felt you were walking alone. He shaped your soul in silence, prepared you in secret, and protected you in moments you didn't even notice. Now something in you is clearer. Your vision has opened. Your energy has shifted. Your sensitivity has deepened. All of this is a sign that you're entering a new phase. More conscious, more resolute, more connected to the purpose that's been with you since the beginning. The spiritual world recognizes you. And soon the physical world will too. And before we finish, I want to ask something special of you. Share in the comments what spoke to you most in this message. Which part touched your heart? Which sign did you recognize in your story? Your experience may strengthen someone else who's going through the same process. Write it below. Let's build together a community of light, a community of the chosen.